America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before.
In the midst of the excitement of Trump's Inauguration Day, something unexpected happened that left everyone talking. While the ceremony followed its traditional course, there were shocking twists and behind-the-scenes moments that most people missed. From surprise appearances to decisions that raised eyebrows, it was anything but an ordinary day, and some details still remain unclear. These weren't just small surprises. They were moments that could change everything. Did you catch everything that happened? Or are you still wondering what made this day so unforgettable? Join us as we reveal the shocking moments you missed on Inauguration Day. Viral reactions and notable absences. The second inauguration of Donald Trump on the 20th January 2025 was a spectacle filled with viral moments, notable absences, and some surprising turns. Washington, D.C. was buzzing as the event drew attention to something more than just the formalities. The inauguration was packed with political powerhouses, celebrities, and tech billionaires, all gathered to witness a historical event. Yet, what stood out were the viral reactions and controversies that followed. For instance, tech moguls like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk took priority seating, giving the event a modern touch, almost as if their presence was as important as the ceremony itself. And Elon Musk, known for his bold actions and words, caused a stir with a gesture that some viewers likened to a Nazi salute. But that wasn't the only controversial moment. What really caught the eye was Zuckerberg's apparent fixation on Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez. Was it just a fleeting glance, or was there something more to it? Keep watching to find out more. The guest list itself was fascinating. While some familiar faces made an appearance, others were notably absent. Michelle Obama, who is known for her past involvement in inaugurations, was not there this time. Reports have it that her decision not to attend was based on her opposition to Trump's leadership. This absence left people wondering if other high-profile figures would follow suit. Nancy Pelosi, another prominent Democrat, also skipped the event, making it clear that the political divide in the country was still very much alive. Despite these absences, the day was full of other notable moments. George W. Bush, for instance, managed to lighten the mood with his playful expressions. Whether he was reacting to something or just enjoying the occasion, his gestures caught the attention of the cameras and added a bit of humor to the ceremony. And then there was Hillary Clinton, who was seen laughing at Trump's controversial remarks. This moment, though brief, added a lighter touch to the event and reminded audiences that, despite the tensions, the inauguration had its share of human moments. One thing that made this inauguration stand out was the blend of tradition, controversy, and surprise. In keeping with tradition, former presidents like Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama were in attendance, along with the incoming president and vice president. Their presence was expected, but it was the little surprises, the viral moments, and the notable absences that truly made this event unforgettable. The ceremony itself started with a church service at the historic St. John's Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C., followed by tea at the White House. However, the day's weather had other plans. An Arctic blast sweeping through Washington meant that the traditional outdoor swearing-in ceremony in the U.S. Capitol was not possible. Instead, Trump and his Vice President, James David Vance, were sworn in indoors within the rotunda of the Capitol building. This wasn't the norm, but it was a necessary change given the weather conditions. Afterwards, Trump posted on Truth Social, explaining the decision and mentioning that this indoor ceremony was reminiscent of Ronald Reagan's inauguration in 1985, when similar weather forced a similar change. The weather wasn't the only thing grabbing attention, though. Fashion also played a role in making the day memorable as well. The First Lady Melania Trump wore a navy coat and skirt designed by Adam Lips, a highly regarded American designer. The ensemble was classy, and the designer was proud to say that Melania's outfit showed the work of America's finest craftsmen. Melania also wore a wide-brimmed hat by Eric Javits, adding an extra touch of elegance to her look. Jill Biden, on the other hand, chose a bold purple outfit, which wasn't just a fashion statement, but also a symbol of bipartisan unity. Her purple ensemble, designed by Ralph Lauren, was a powerful visual message for the country, showing that, despite the political divisions, there was a hope for unity. The choice of color wasn't only about fashion, but a reminder of the importance of working together as a nation, no matter the political differences. However, it wasn't just politicians and dignitaries who made waves on Inauguration Day. The tech billionaires, including Zuckerberg, Bezos, Musk, and others, were seated in front-row seats, a sign of how much influence they wield. But it wasn't only their seating arrangement that caught attention. Bezos's fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, made waves with her daring fashion choice. She wore a white Alexander McQueen outfit that, to many, it revealed a bit too much. It wasn't long before social media was abuzz with comments about her exposed bra, which led to a lot of discussion about fashion choices at such high-profile events. The event had its share of surprises, but the presence of tech CEOs, including Sundar Pichai, Tim Cook, and Sam Altman, added an interesting twist to the traditional political gathering. Their presence emphasized how tech leaders are becoming increasingly intertwined with politics, and their influence was clearly visible as they were given priority seating at the inauguration. It's clear that in today's world, the lines between business and politics are becoming blurrier by the day. However, even with the emphasis on the tech world, there was one appearance that really caught many eyes. At his father's second inauguration, Barron made a rare appearance that turned a lot of heads. Barron Trump, the youngest son of Donald and Melania Trump, has grown and changed a lot over the years, both in how he looks and in his personal life. Born on March 20, 2006, Barron was only 10 years old when his dad became president in 2017. Back then, he was just a kid who was often seen with his parents at official events. Now he's 18 years old, and standing an incredible 6 feet 9 inches tall, he towered over everyone, including his parents. His height has been a really big talk, especially whenever he's seen at events with his family. In his personal life, Barron recently finished high school and started studying business at New York University's Stern School of Business. Even though being the son of a former president comes with its challenges, Barron has mostly stayed out of the spotlight, focusing on his education and growing into his own person. At the inauguration, he stood quietly behind his parents, looking calm and composed. People couldn't help but notice him, not just because of his height, but also because he's rarely seen in public these days. Many remarked on how much he has grown, both physically and as a young man, carrying himself with maturity and confidence. Over the years, Barron has gone from a child living in the White House to a young adult starting his college journey. It hasn't been easy growing up in the public eye, but he's managed to handle it while finding his own path. Now, as he continues his studies, it'll be interesting to see how he shapes his future and steps out of his family's political spotlight. Barron's appearance at the 2025 inauguration reminded many of how much he's changed in just 8 years. From being a little boy in the White House to becoming a towering young man heading off to college, it's been quite the transformation. However, even as Barron's appearance stood out, there were still some traditional aspects of the ceremony that also stood out. Trump took the oath of office using 2 Bibles, one that had belonged to his mother and one that had belonged to President Abraham Lincoln. The symbolism was powerful, linking the new president to past leaders and highlighting the weight of the moment. It was a small yet significant gesture that reminded everyone of the rich history of American democracy. Meanwhile, Vice President James David Vance was sworn in by Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, whom Usha Vance, James David's wife, had clerked for, added an additional layer of significance to the event. Usha Vance herself had a distinguished career, having clerked for both Kavanaugh and Chief Justice John G. Roberts, before stepping down to support her husband's political journey. Her presence at the inauguration reminded many of the strength of family and the sacrifices that come with political life. Despite the chill in the air, the event was a reminder of the power of tradition, the importance of unity, and the unexpected moments that make inaugurations so memorable. From viral reactions to notable absences, it felt as if the inauguration had it all. But there were more awkward and shocking moments that many didn't notice. Here are the most interesting ones. Awkward moments and unusual traditions. Inauguration Day was a day full of memorable and unexpected events that can spark both laughter and controversy. And from unexpected glitches to different awkward moments, this inauguration proved to be a day full of different surprises. One of the first notable moments and breaks from tradition occurred right at the start. When it was time for Trump to take the oath of office, he opted not to place his hand on the traditional family Bible, or the Lincoln Bible, as is customary for presidents. Instead, Trump stood with his left arm at his side, raising his right hand to take the oath. This moment caught the attention of many, and experts quickly pointed out that it was an unprecedented move in the history of presidential inaugurations. While some may have expected Trump to follow the long-standing tradition of holding a Bible during this moment, the choice not to was notable in its own right. Interestingly, it's worth noting that placing a hand on the Bible is not legally required. According to the U.S. Constitution, presidents only need to affirm their oath. So the specifics of whether they hold a Bible or not are up to the individual. Isn't it interesting how something as simple as placing a hand on a Bible can stir up so much conversation? Keep watching to find out more about other memorable moments from that day. Later in the ceremony, a performance by Carrie Underwood was interrupted by a technical glitch, leading to an unexpected turn of events. As the country singer began her rendition of "America the Beautiful," her backing music suddenly cut out, leaving her to sing without accompaniment. Instead of faltering, Underwood carried on with grace, turning the situation into a moment of crowd participation. "You know the words, 'Help me out here,'" she said, encouraging the audience to join in, and they joined in. The crowd's spontaneous support made the performance even more memorable, turning what could have been an awkward moment into a beautiful, unifying experience. It reminds us that sometimes, even when things go wrong, people can come together to make the best of a situation. Moving on, one of the more amusing and frankly awkward moments came when Trump tried to kiss Melania, his wife, during the ceremony. As he leaned in to kiss her, he was met with an unexpected obstacle: Melania's wide-brimmed hat. With the hat blocking his path, Trump's attempt at a kiss turned into an awkward air kiss that quickly became a viral moment. The social media went wild over this super awkward moment, with everyone's talking about it and calling it most awkward kiss ever. Many even joked that Melania had cleverly worn the wide-brimmed hat to prevent the kiss from happening. However, though the kiss may not have gone as planned, Trump did manage to successfully kiss Melania after the swearing-in ceremony. But the viral moments didn't end there, though. Throughout the day, there were other instances that would go on to capture people's attention. At the same time, Trump's second inauguration was marked by the presence of a number of high-profile tech moguls. And while their presence at the event was noteworthy, it wasn't only their presence that caused a stir. It was their behavior during the ceremony. Mark Zuckerberg, in particular, went viral when he was caught staring at Lauren Sanchez, the fiancée of Jeff Bezos, who was seated beside him. Sanchez was dressed in a white blazer and lace bralette, and the internet couldn't help but notice Zuckerberg's intense gaze. social media exploded with jokes and memes about his apparent fixation on Sanchez. Many even quipped that Zuckerberg was ready to risk it all for Lauren Sanchez. It was an unexpected moment that made the whole event even more meme-worthy. However, Zuckerberg was not the only tech billionaire to make waves, though. Elon Musk also had his moment in the spotlight. As Trump addressed the crowd, Musk made a gesture that many viewers quickly likened to a Nazi salute. His one-armed gesture, with his hand over his heart and arm extended upward, sparked controversy. Musk later defended the move, explaining that it was meant as a heartfelt thank you to the audience for their support. Nonetheless, the moment was widely criticized and became another viral point of discussion from the inauguration. The event didn't lack light-hearted moments either. Former President George Walker Bush, known for his often playful demeanor, amused viewers with his animated facial expressions throughout the ceremony. At one point, he was caught darting his eyes from side to side, as if he were trying to contain a grin. The playful expressions led to a flurry of memes on social media, with many people comparing Bush's behavior to that of a child at a school play. Many even stated that he is like that kid at the school play that sees his parents and can't stop winking and making faces. The lighthearted nature of these moments brought a sense of levity to an otherwise formal occasion. And speaking of levity, Hillary Clinton also grabbed attention during the event, though it was for a very different reason. As Trump made a controversial remark about renaming the Gulf of Mexico and Mount Denali in Alaska, Clinton was seen laughing in the background. It was a moment that caused a stir, considering the political tension between Clinton and Trump, especially after their fierce rivalry in the 2016 election. Some viewers found the situation to be an amusing and relatable expression of disbelief, while others saw it as a subtle form of protest. Either way, the moment became a talking point for many. Finally, the fashion choices of attendees didn't go unnoticed. While Melania Trump's outfit drew significant attention, one of the more talked-about choice of fashion came from Senator John Fetterman. At such a formal event, many people were expecting everyone to be dressed in their best suits and dresses. However, Fetterman opted for a much more casual look. He was seen wearing an oversized hoodie, athletic shorts, and sneakers, which was pretty casual, especially considering that this was a super formal event where people usually dress to impress. John Fetterman's decision to wear a casual outfit to Trump's inauguration really got people talking, and wondering why he chose to dress down for such a big deal occasion. Maybe, as some people thought, Fetterman just prefers comfort over tradition, which is pretty in line with his laid-back style. As the day went on, it became super clear that Trump's second inauguration was going to be remembered for way more than just the official stuff. There were tons of viral moments, awkward interactions, and surprise twists that made the whole thing truly unforgettable. From the controversial gestures to the unexpected fashion choices, like Fetterman's casual getup, the inauguration was filled with plenty of moments many missed, even after the event had ended. Stay tuned as we continue unfolding stories from this unforgettable inauguration. Breaking record moments and bold declarations. As we've talked about different striking appearances and notable moments at the 2025 inauguration, it's only fitting to move into another remarkable aspect of that historic day, which is Donald Trump's second inaugural address and the bold declarations that followed. The day was not just about pomp and circumstance. It was packed with a moment that left people talking long after the event ended. Donald Trump is known for making headlines, and his second inaugural address was no exception. At his inauguration, Trump delivered a speech that became the longest modern-day inaugural address, clocking in at 29 minutes and 48 seconds. This was no small feat, as it surpassed Joe Biden's 21-minute speech from 2021, while it didn't beat the all-time record of William Henry Harrison's 1841 speech, which lasted a staggering hour and 40 minutes. Trump's address was still impactful and packed with bold promises. Harrison's lengthy speech, which he delivered in freezing weather, famously led to his untimely death from pneumonia a month later. But Trump had no such concerns in the comfort of modern arrangements. What made Trump's speech stand out wasn't just its length, but what he said. With his characteristic flair for drama, Trump declared that America's decline would end immediately, promising the start of a golden age. He criticized past leadership, particularly targeting his predecessor, Joe Biden. Though he avoided mentioning him by name, Trump labeled the previous administration as incompetent and corrupt, a sentiment he frequently voiced during his campaign. His criticism wasn't subtle, as he accused the government of failing to manage crises at home and abroad while prioritizing foreign borders over America's. As Trump delivered his speech, all eyes were on the audience. Joe Biden, sitting among the crowd, reacted with a mix of disbelief and amusement, occasionally shaking his head or smirking at Trump's pointed remarks. Kamala Harris, Biden's former vice president and Trump's opponent in the 2024 elections, maintained a stoic expression throughout. Their contrasting reactions became a focal point for viewers, further emphasizing the difference between Trump's vision and that of his critics. However, Trump's promises during the speech were as bold as his rhetoric. He pledged to reinstate his controversial "Remain in Mexico" policy and declared a national emergency at the southern border. He also spoke out against what he called the weaponization of the Justice Department and vowed to end what he described as unfair treatment of law-abiding citizens in favor of dangerous criminals. His words resonated with his supporters, but drew sharp criticism from opponents who viewed his proposals as divisive. One of the most controversial moments came when Trump stated that the U.S. government would officially recognize only two genders, male and female. This declaration was met with different reactions. On one hand, his supporters were cheering and loved it, but on the other hand, advocates for gender identity rights were immediately speaking out against it and expressing their strong disagreement. Trump also took aim at environmental policies like the Green New Deal, promising to reverse them in favor of increased resource extraction, famously declaring, "Drill, baby, drill." He even proposed renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, a suggestion that sparked debate and added to the boldness of the day. However, Trump didn't stop there. He pointed to recent natural disasters, such as hurricanes in North Carolina and wildfires in Los Angeles, as examples of the outgoing administration's failures. He also criticized the education system, stating that they are teaching children to be ashamed of their country's history. His speech touched on nearly every major issue, leaving no doubt about the sweeping changes he intended to implement during his second term. However, the day was not only about the speech. The ceremony itself was filled with symbolism and memorable moments, as Trump and Vice President James David Vance were both sworn in. Another striking moment was the presence of Elon Musk, our billionaire tech mogul and one of Trump's most vocal supporters. Musk sat near Trump during the ceremony, enthusiastically pumping his fists when Trump mentioned sending American astronauts to Mars. This partnership between Trump and Musk showed their shared ambition for space exploration and captured the attention of many, adding another layer of significance to the day. And as the day unfolded, it became clear that this inauguration wasn't only about ceremony, but moments that made it remarkable and significant. From viral and awkward moments to Trump's bold declarations and symbolic gestures, every moment seemed designed to leave a lasting impression. Whether people agreed with his vision or not, there was no denial of the significance of that day. So which viral moment from the inauguration stood out to you the most? And do you think Trump's bold declarations will shape his presidency in the coming years? Drop it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.